Okay, so Karen, perhaps you could start by telling me a little bit about where you were before you started the program. What was going on for you? What was your kind of situation?
Okay, I was really struggling to lose weight. Because of the COVID situation, came into the high BMI category, and that really scared me, to be honest. I've tried for years lots of different diets, all the usual ones, the Slimming World, Weight Watchers, all of those, and they work for a couple of weeks, and then I just can't maintain them. And I don't know how I came about seeing the plan advertised. I think I'm going to be dead honest here, because something came up on Facebook, and then I think I saw a webinar of yours, and it sort of, I thought, that sounds really interesting, and a lot of things hit home. So then I basically stalked you on the internet to make sure
Very wise.
that you were legit. I was like, because there's lots of people out there making lots of claims and stuff, and I couldn't find anything negative. It was all really positive. And I thought, you know what? Actually, I really need help. I can't lose weight on my own. I just keep giving up. And what have I got to lose? So that was what it was. Really. It was a weight issue, but also a state of mind. And I'd kind of given up on ever losing any weight, but the COVID thing had just scared me into, I was furloughed because of my BMI, really.
Right, okay.
That was, I work in a school, and that was hard. I was sort of letting colleagues down who had to go in, and, it was really difficult. So, yeah, it was that.
And so what was your experience?
Sorry for talking you.
That's okay. I think it's very wise. It's very, very wise. So what was your experience coming into Nourish Method? How did you find the process?
It was actually just really supportive, and there was no pressure whatsoever. I took the offer of a phone call, and I spoke to you, and when you initially said the amount, I was kind of initially reeling a bit, and what I really liked was you didn't put any pressure on, you didn't say anything, so I just said, you know what, actually, can you give me another call back tomorrow, because I needed time to sort of talk to my husband and really basically commit. That was the thing, it was committing to myself. I'd spent the last few years saying, if I had 12 months not in work, that I would, I'd said it to my husband loads of time, I would get a personal trainer, and I would get somebody to cook my food, and I would lose weight, and this, that, and the other. And that in the back of my mind, I'd never done it. And then with being furloughed, I thought, well, maybe it is an opportunity to focus on getting well. So you gave me that phone call. I said, can you call me back the next day, which you did. In the meantime, I had a conversation with my husband, and he said, why don't you just do it? It's worth it, just go for it. What have you got to lose? So I said, well, yeah, okay. And then we got signed up very quickly the next day, straight into all the information, which was easily accessible. A lot of information, but the fact that you do the office hours, the Zoom meetings, is so helpful, and the Facebook group so responsive, so you can put something in there and it's quickly responded to by you or somebody else, and I found particularly that it was just so responsive and so helpful, because once I decided I wanted to do it there and then, So it was easy to navigate. The advice to just go at your own pace was really helpful. That was so helpful. And the fact that it's not all about the diet, it is. I didn't have a set weight target to lose. I just wanted to get my BMI down. And I think that's really important, because people sometimes have a perception, or I've had a perception, that you're going to lose bucket loads of weight. And I didn't want to have that, because I think partly because I failed at that in the past. It was things like the mindfulness, I still now use the fact that I don't call food good and bad. That is a tiny thing, but it's been massive It's massive.
Yeah.
So
Powerful.
really powerful, and that's been the thing, those messages through, and the ability to the fact that you can do it at your own pace. And it was my journey, it wasn't anybody else's, but there was support there. And it does feel like one-to-one with you the whole time. It does. Good. So that is really, it's really good. And
how did you find having some tests done and then working from that information?
Okay, yeah, the test thing, that was interesting because I kept cocking them up. I couldn't, there was a few issues with that. But that partly was another reason for joining the plan, because it was actual results that you know, otherwise I want to say peeing in the wind. You don't know what you're trying to correct unless you've got results. So that was actually really interesting. Yeah, there was some hiccups on the way with not working the blood things, but actually, again, the fact that you didn't make anything an issue, it was all very smooth. You were like, don't worry about it. And it was all, everything's okay. That's how it's felt the whole way through, is whatever little wobbles I had over the blood thing. And because it is quite stressful, you know, sticking something in your finger, it doesn't hurt, it's fine. But it's something you don't do on a regular basis. No. Unless you're me and have to do it a few times because you keep cocking it up. But the fact that you and Thriver were responsive as well, you know, they were helpful. But the link between you and them was really helpful. And the feedback was really good, really thorough and easy to understand. The fact it's recorded, you've got it. And I still refer back to that now. To remember what I'm doing with supplements. You know?
What I'm doing.
Yeah. So it was really, really good. Yeah, I'd forgotten about the whole blood testing. That was obviously is the key of it, really. But
so, where are you at now? What results have you seen as part of the program? Not just weight-wise, what improvements have you seen?
Oh, so many. Just the fact that I committed to something and it's actually worked, to be honest. Get a bit teary now, but I'm really proud because I've tried for so long, but I haven't really tried. I thought I was trying, but I wasn't really. And I was impacted by other people feeling competition, and I drop back when that happens. And that obviously I've been lucky. I have got a lot of weight to lose, but I have lost 2 stone within the 16 weeks. I'll probably have another pound lost this week. It started off quickly, dropped to £1 a week, and I'm fine with that. It's brilliant. Inch loss is great. I started doing the inches just in between, so that if I didn't have a loss, there would be. I will get back to you on how good that was. But the last time I looked, which was in about a month, 6 weeks ago, there was about 16.5 inches gone.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I've had more energy. I've just felt more positive, so much more positive. And considering the lockdown and the furloughing, there's been issues within my family that could have caused major stress. I've had B12 injections stopped. You've helped me sort that out, you know. I definitely feel more confident. I've gone from, unfortunately, the place where I was furloughed from had to close, and I went in the process. I've had an interview, got another job, and honestly, it's the confidence of just the fact that it's like I've taken control of something. And I mean, I've said to you, it feels like I still can't believe it, can't quite believe it. And even silly thing like my nails are much stronger. I've always had good nails, but in the last sort of 8, 10 months, 12 months, they were just snapping. At the moment, they're really good. Really good. Yeah. Yeah. And no more itchy legs. Skin's better. I am drinking more water, and I know that will obviously benefit as well. And I've just got the energy to go, because when you are very heavy, you haven't got a lot of energy to go out and to walk, and just the walking. And yeah, that's partly I've pushed myself to do that, but I don't think I would have necessarily had the energy or I was falling asleep in the afternoons before, and I'm not now, and I haven't done since I've eaten in this way. It's massively different.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And one last question.
Oh, no swollen ankles. Sorry, forgotten about that. My ankles are not swollen.
That's a win. That's definitely a win. Yeah, one last question. One thing that I'm sure you're probably worried about, and a lot of people worry about when they're thinking about joining this program, is am I actually going to feel like, am I going to enjoy the food? Am I going to feel hungry? Is it going to be sustainable? So what have you got to say about that?
Right, I still hate avocado because well, I say I hate it. I could have it if I hide it under bacon.
Yeah, you don't have to have it.
Yeah, no, you don't have to have it. That's the key. Initially, there are wonderful recipes there for you. There's lots of resources there available if you want them. To me, there was simply 3 lists, and it was sort of super nourishing food, and less nourishing food. And I took that made life simple for me. And I picked the stuff that I liked from those lists. I have learned so much. There's words in my vocabulary now that, like kefir and kombucha and all this mad stuff, the man in Sainsbury's runs from me when I go and find him now. Just simple things like tahini. And at first you think, what is all this stuff? And it seemed a little expensive. At first I was thinking, oh gosh. And I thought, no, do you know what? Just go with it. Buy the stuff in. There's the Paleo granola recipe is wonderful. And it needs quite a lot of ingredients. But I did it, and I've sort of taken a few leaps of faith, and the stuff's been great. And just simple tweaks that I would never have known how to do them. And I've eaten normal food. And my husband, he's so fussy. And we're still eating meat and veg at night. We're still eating well at lunchtime. You know, you can have a breakfast, lunch and dinner. You don't have to be hungry. You can have a snack in the afternoon. It doesn't feel restrictive. And the best thing that I haven't said, cravings. I don't have cravings for rubbish. Completely forgot. I was a 6 packets of crisps at a go girl.
Yeah, and that's massive, isn't it? Because once
yeah,
you've gone, you're in control.
Yeah, and you know, I do think I stuck to the plan for quite a few weeks because that suited me. I didn't feel deprived. It was great, but I completely forgot. No cravings is wonderful because I was properly sugar addicted and I didn't realise. And I've changed things completely. I don't drink tea and coffee. That's not to say you can't. It's a choice. You know, people can still drink tea and coffee. It's just my choice now. And I've learned so much, and that's, you know, you're just like a font of knowledge, honestly. But yeah, the food is fine. The food is stuff that I was eating before, just with some tweaks.
Great. Okay.
Some extras, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Karen. It's been extremely helpful.